It is 6 o'clock, so we can kick this meeting off now that we have everybody present, or at least online as well. So 6 o'clock, we will kick off the Conservation Commission meeting, Rutland Conservation Commission meeting of November 19, 2024. We do have a quorum. We have 4 members in the room. We have Tim Keenan, Skip Clark, Linda Williamson, and myself, Jared Gentilucci, in the Rutland Library. And on Zoom, we also have Brian Bjorklund and Melissa Danza. Let's see, I am going to share my screen. I'll pull the agenda up. We are on Zoom, we are broadcasting on local cable, and this meeting will be available on the town's YouTube channel as well. Okay, let's start with meeting minutes. Minutes from our October 15th meeting.
Motion to approve as written.
Second.
I actually had one minor edit, Tamika.
Yeah, I did too.
You do, okay. Actually, Brian, go
Probably
ahead.
the same thing.
Go ahead, Brian.
When we were talking about the ARP, CPA, the CPA, I abstained and Jared was a nay.
Okay.
Correct. That was my comment too, so.
Yep.
So
Thank you, Brian.
Jared was the.
I meant to say nay and I said abstain, so I didn't want to take it back, but.
Okay, so Jared said nay, Brian said abstain. Or was it? Now I'm confused.
That's correct,
Okay,
yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, I will fix that.
Okay.
But that's all I had.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Any
Did I
other?
really say yes? I don't remember.
I believe so.
I said no. Could be wrong.
Any other comments from the members? Good?
It's crazy.
Well, we got a motion and a second. Tim, we want to start with you? Roll call.
Keenan, aye.
Clark, aye.
Williamson, aye.
Gentilucci, aye. We'll go.
Bjorklund, aye.
Thank you, Brian.
Dan's abstain.
Thank you. All right. Minutes are approved. All right, we will start with applications and public hearings. Our first item on the agenda, we have public hearing for a notice of intent. We will open the public hearing for a notice of intent for 187 Pleasantdale Road. I can pull up some of the documents here, and I assume you folks are here for this project. Why don't you introduce yourself and
Chuck Taylor, Karen Environmental Consulting, representing Mr. Lucier. I don't know if you were gonna put the plan up there so people online see it
sure.
rather than, I have a colored one with me, but that usually doesn't work with hybrid meetings well. Plan should be a separate,
Is this the plan?
separate
Or
file.
was there another?
there's a
I couldn't
a
find,
site plan.
I couldn't find a site plan in the file.
This is all that I received electronically. So
Yeah,
you might
that's
not have
all.
gotten a site plan electronically. Is it attached, Jared, to the NOI submittal?
That's what I was just looking through.
Yeah.
No, cause I printed the whole thing. I couldn't find a separate plan.
This is the NOI form. I didn't see anything attached to that. And narrative and attachments, there is, I see this plan.
Like this way.
Some pictures, looks like some DP, wetland forms.
Yeah, it shouldn't,
Should have been a separate
it should have been
document.
a separate.
Document, okay.
Yeah, it didn't come through, so if you don't mind just having somebody send it to me tomorrow, that would be
Yeah, we'll
great.
do that.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
don't know what happened with that. So, good thing I brought this.
Do we have a easel?
So, is that good for anybody watching online? Okay.
Such an easy.
So basically, Mr. Lucier is looking to build a garage on his property at 187 Pleasantdale Road, which is a parcel right next to where his house is, over in here. This is on the east side of Pleasantdale Road, just before you get to Route 122. Basically, we're proposing, there's an area of bordered vegetated wetland down here in this would be the southwest portion of the lot. It really pretty much follows along through here, the kind of historic limited disturbance. It then kind of expands up in here to the north a bit, where it's picking up a lot of road drainage. Currently on the site, there is another garage with a gravel. It is gravel, right?
Right, yeah.
Right, gravel driveway coming into that garage. It also loops up to the house. Basically, almost the exact area the garage is proposed is currently a bunch of blueberries planting with
It's a blueberry
frame for-
cage full of blueberry bushes.
So,
And the reason I want this really is I had 60 acres in New York, which I used for farming a little bit and for deer. So it's to store my equipment. I sold it. It's closing Friday. And I'm bringing back little farm tractor and cultivators and corn planters and brush hogs, and I need a place to put it. And I can't put it in here because that's full. And I live right here. Well, it's all my same lot, really.
So basically, this is gonna fit in here, really doesn't require any changes to the driveway. It narrows it down here a bit, but it's still plenty wide right there. Because it's all gravel right now, there's plenty good access to it without any real change, other than the footprint of the garage itself. There is one point where the wetland juts out a little bit, and to fit everything in it, that one corner gets pretty close. It's only about between 5-point-something feet from the edge of wetland, right at that point. Typically, I'd be more concerned about that if you had to get along the edge to actually be able to, whether it's practical to build it without getting in the wetland. In this case, though, where it's right at this point, you can work from each direction without risking getting into the wetland at all. And then we've got there's an erosion control barrier proposed between the work and the resource areas. Or resource area.
Access is from the driveway.
Yes, the
Right, this is
driveway
the
right
existing
there,
driveway.
off of Pleasantdale
To
Road.
go, into the garage, garage doors, you got garage
The
doors.
garage doors go in this way.
You on that side?
Yes.
Is there any way you could shift it further south?
You mean switch this corner this way?
Like move the whole garage further away from the resource area?
Well, it's,
Well, we
but
can't go.
this is all lawn, if you will. I mean, it's all sprinkler systems and lawns. If I really had to do that, I would, but it's just like one little corner, and if you go look at it, it's not like it's wet right there. It's wetland, according to Mr. Karen, but it really doesn't look like it's not wet swampy land.
But
And
you
it's all-
can't shift it.
And
I
basically,
could, I could twist it this way some,
right,
which would, then we're still far away here, and we're 5 here. If I twist it this way 10 feet, then we'd be that 15 feet away from the corner.
because really can't go much this way because then you're blocking access to that. If you went, I'm not sure what the zoning, how far you could go zoning wise, but if you come this way,
We can go
then you have to
zoning
rebuild,
wise.
then you have to do this whole section of driveway new as part of the project, so there's a lot more
Okay, so
disturbance.
it's, the location is limited by the existing driveway and the existing structure?
Right.
Okay,
Like I say, this area here is all lawn with all sprinkler systems and that to my house, which is here.
okay.
And it's just for personal use,
Yeah, I just wanted to check
Yeah,
on that.
sure.
Yep, it's fine.
I'm good.
good.
And then do you have any other permitting that has to be done besides conservation, like
Okay, we talked to the building inspector,
the building permit?
building permit, we talked to him already. And he said if you folks had any questions, he's okay with it. He knows it's an accessory to an existing residential, that he's fine with it. And he said if you have questions, call him and he'll explain the process that he thinks is what it is. But we discussed that with him before we applied for this. There's no sense in coming here if he was gonna kill me right off the start.
Right. I don't have anything.
This is a cement slab anyway, isn't it, George?
What's that?
It's a cement slab.
Cement slab, it's a, like same way as we do all those storage buildings we did. It's got the big haunch with all the re-rods around the haunch and all the wire in the middle. And believe me, I'm amazed how those buildings don't move. I've got them up there 270 feet long. I did all those storage ones. I reshot them 3 years later with a laser from end to end. They were with my son, who was an engineer, within an eighth of an inch. They go up a little bit with the Alaskan slabs, but they, you know what I mean? As long as you've got real structural fill underneath them, you can't put them on clay. You know, if you look, if you went down my site right over here right now, I got a big pile of structural fill that's gonna go underneath there, stored there already. And that's what you need underneath them, that's the,
Not excessive amount of dirt removal.
what's that?
Not an excessive amount of
No,
digging going on with this.
So you won't have to
Limited.
like excavate for a foundation?
what's
That's
that?
what I was getting at, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what he said. Do you have to excavate down to a
We
certain?
have to excavate down till we find something that's
Solid.
decent, solid, and then we put the structural fill in and do it. I mean, we've been builders for 40-something years. We've built banks, bigger buildings, not big banks, but small banks. And I built about 400 houses, so we have an excavation business existing. I'm getting old, but I'm still doing a little bit. 82 is not old anymore, right?
No, it's really not.
All depends how you feel,
80's the
right?
new 50.
I just had a new knee a few weeks ago. It's
Nice,
still a ways to go, but it's coming.
nice.
What are you proposing for the erosion control barrier?
Wattles, I think you have there.
With that, we just put erosion control.
I can do either one. You want hay bales, fine. If you want,
Can't use hay bales in this town.
can't really?
No,
Well,
you gotta use
straw
Straw or wattle.
or wattles, yeah.
And wattles
But
is
there's
cheaper.
really,
It's
it's flat. You know
It's
what I mean?
flat, I
It's not
think-
like there's a lot of,
generally, I don't like straw wattles.
Ditto.
I kind of call them a placebo erosion. You put them where you don't need them, but people think you should have them.
They're a good like construction barrier, like visually, but if I were to go with a straw wattle, I'd want some silt fence.
Yeah, I would
Trench.
prefer, my
Trench
preference would be
silt
silt fence in this setting.
And if you wanna put a wattle in front of it, that's,
well, we can do the silt fence. We have the little mini, we dig the slot in and put it down to embed it right and all that stuff, so with the excavator.
would you be happy with the
Silt
silt
fence?
fence and a wattle?
It is pretty flat, so the erosion potential here is,
Minimal. Yeah. I would say at,
you never know.
at minimum silt fence. And I'm not opposed to the straw wattles in addition to the silt fence. I think as long as we have a silt fence at a minimum, it should be good, cause like you said, the excavation, probably going down maybe 4 feet,
Not even that.
not even, okay. Yeah, so there'll be minimal excavation, flat area, silt fence.
And we
should
don't
be good.
even, and we would not leave that dirt there that we dig out anyways. That will leave.
Be taking it away.
Take outside.
And a couple of feet around the whole foundation will be all filled with gravel, so that any drip line will go through the gravel, and that's what they had us do on this building. So that becomes like the recharge area, if you will. So there's gravel 2 feet wide, 2 feet deep, all around the whole foundation, around the drip line, which takes care of the runoff, you know.
Any more questions from commission members? Nope.
I'd like to, we don't have to decide on this tonight. We wanna do a site inspection.
Yeah, we could do a site visit if we want, before we close, sure.
I'd prefer to have a site visit, just to look at the boundaries and
Take a look.
the general lay of the land.
Would that be okay with you? We schedule a site visit?
I have no say. What site visit you having?
We like to
That's the
ask.
way it works.
Brian and Melissa, did you have any, before we get to the site visit and talking about dates, times for that, do you have any questions or comments for the applicant?
No, I don't think so.
No, just getting the electronic plan because it's kind of hard to see. And then have we gotten the DEP number for this at all?
No, we haven't.
Oh, yeah, so we
Okay,
won't
so
be
we
able to
can
close
close
any
anyways.
visits. Okay, do we wanna talk about site visit? I think weekdays are probably out at this point, cause it's dark at like 4. We'll have to wait till about April to do that.
Right. So annoying.
I know. Does anybody wanna try for this Saturday morning? Skip, I know Saturday mornings are tough for you.
Well, this Saturday I'm out of state, so.
Okay, that's even tougher then.
So we're just missing that.
I could probably do this Saturday morning if others can.
We found.
Doesn't look like it's gonna rain.
I think it's supposed to.
It's supposed to be very
Cloudy,
light
but
Saturday.
maybe cloudy.
Thursday, Friday is gonna rain.
I can deal with
Anything over
that
500 square feet, hard to
weather.
replicate anything below 500.
I can do Saturday, I guess. Yeah, I don't-
Oh, well.
Tim, Saturday, you wanna say 10 a.m.? Our typical Saturday morning time?
I'd say Glenda thinks, I mean, if she
Yeah.
wants to see it, whatever works for you.
10's good.
10's good, okay.
I won't be around, gotta fly to Florida Saturday, business, but if you go down there and you wanna see where the building really goes,
I can be there.
you can be there? Okay, it's very much the big blueberry
Oh, yeah.
cage.
10 on Saturday. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
that'd be great. And if you can't make it, don't worry, it's fine.
No, I just soon be there, then if there's any questions, he can sort of answer them right away.
Story. So,
So if you're at the main intersection, there's like that gas station and Dunkin' on the right. You go straight and it's the first house on the right.
If you're coming from Rutland Center, Pleasantdale Road, the last place before the intersection is my shop. And that's that driveway.
Oh, yeah, I've
With the
seen
solar
that.
system,
Yeah, I've seen
and I
that.
live in that house on the left. My shop is there, that's that driveway, and my house driveway's up above it a little bit.
And I've got the aerial up, so here's Colonial Convenience right here.
It's Colonial.
no reason.
That's Colonial Convenience, gas station.
This is my shop, this is the driveway you talked about.
Yeah.
This is the blueberry cage, that's where the building's going.
The guy.
So it's
It's
right
the
across.
blueberry.
Oh, so you don't go across
No,
122?
that's why I don't understand why you want a sidewalk personally, but that's all right. I've been there and seen it myself, it's kind of ridiculous.
Just because I haven't seen the flagging on the wetland.
I know exactly how to handle it.
It's all
I
flat.
found
He did-
Yeah. It's not a bad idea for us to check it. Should be a quick site visit.
It's the world is coming down, you know.
That's true, so yeah, unfortunately, we can't close anyways.
Yeah, and DEP's comments are,
Okay, if you do, just for me to schedule, if you do the site work Saturday, how long before I get an answer one way or the
Then
other?
you're gonna have, there's gonna be a continued hearing.
We'll continue tonight.
So
We,
December
2
3rd
weeks.
is the next meeting.
is our next meeting, so if you have your DEP file number prior to our next meeting on December 3rd,
Do we have
I
it?
would
No.
guess we'll probably be able to close that night.
We should have it
I would, yeah,
by
hopefully.
December 3rd, okay?
That, and getting the DEP file number is probably gonna be what dictates the schedule on this. I would expect we'd probably be ready to close that night, provided there is a DEP file.
Then there's a 21-day wait period.
What's 21 days, right, Tamika, after we issue the order?
no,
No, none of this, no.
there's a 10-day appeal period.
Yeah,
Appeal period, okay.
Well, there's the 21 day, from when they close the hearing,
You
you
have
technically
21
have
days to
21
issue,
days to
right.
issue the order.
But
yeah.
what we can do is, George, the day after this hearing closes, hopefully on December 3rd, we can sign off on it in Viewpoint so that the building permit process can start. And then I will do the orders and get those to you as well, so you can get them
Okay,
recorded.
so after that, we can start the building process. Okay, sounds good.
and just so you know, typically when we close the public hearing, we usually vote on the order the same night. We don't typically wait till the next meeting.
Okay.
So we'll basically be done with our side of the business. Again, provided we have a DEP file number, we should be able to wrap it up.
I used to be up there a lot, so I know what was going on. But now, I mean, my son's the one that's here building in Rutland now.
Nice Christmas cards. Because every time you
Okay, thank you very
you
much
get a bonus.
for everything, and
All right.
have a good evening, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I should ask, are there any comments from the public on this application? Should probably check and see who's actually here. Just wanna make sure there's nobody online that I'm not missing. Nope, it's just us. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll need a motion to continue this hearing to December 3rd.
This hearing until December 3rd.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Do you normally, when you have a wetland, he said it's about 15 feet, what do you require for permanent demarcation?
For permanent demarcation of the wetland itself?
Yes, like, we usually require it at our 25-foot no disturb zone, but like that one that, who was it? The other one that Karen flagged on Pleasantdale, the house is already built, that was like super close to the wetland too.
Okay. Did we do, talking like boulders or signs, something like
I
that?
think we should require some kind of demarcation, just because it's so close.
Signs disappear,
They might,
boulders seem
They
to
might
stay
run
in
in-
place.
they might run into boulders when they're excavating.
They might, yeah.
I mean, we're not gonna ask them to bring boulders in from offsite, that's
she's like,
ridiculous, but
where did you get that?
we also, you have no disturb signs.
Yeah.
You can put them on trees if the trees look healthy.
But it's true.
I think we've done a combination of signs or boulders, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it when we go to issue the order,
Yeah,
I just,
yep.
I was curious.
It's a good point to bring up. It is close, yeah.
And is that in your standard conditions?
No,
Our
that's
standard
usually a special condition, yeah. We have issued that before.
Should look
Yeah,
over
but
our
that's
special conditions
issue.
and standard
Sorry,
conditions.
Mr. Bruce.
You guys have opted for boulders in an effort to provide like a physical separation so that people
Yeah.
aren't
What about the
encroaching in that area.
sewer situation? Ain't gonna happen.
I agree with Skip, obviously, signs. It's tough, but they can be pulled out, they can be moved. Boulders are much harder to
Yeah.
move, so they tend to stay put.
Tell me so.
Sometimes we get sites where there just are not boulders available.
Tell me quicker so I can go on the
Man,
next.
they got a truck, they got excavators, they got
You got it right.
Okay,
But how to
No,
handle
if
this,
we
I'm
wanna
serious.
talk about doing boulders, I think it's reasonable.
Younger guys,
You can get
after.
A few boulders, there's plenty of them around town.
I got plenty on my
Go to
property.
industrial.
Right, there you go, you
Give 'em
can
some of
donate a
mine.
couple.
go to 18 Industrial Drive, there's piles of them. We're giving them away.
All right, we got a motion, we got a second. Any other discussion? Anything else, Glenda, you good?
Yep, good.
Okay, thank you. Roll call?
Yeah,
Okay,
William said aye.
Brian, I'll jump to you.
Dan's eye.
And Gentilucci, aye. All right, that is continued until our next meeting on December 3rd. Let's go back to our agenda here. Okay, next item, we have request for determination of applicability. This is continued from our last meeting from October 15th for 41 Irish Lane.
Sorry.
Did you write, Julian?
Yes, it's me.
Are you paying attention, Mr. Butruba?
I wasn't, but now I am. So all I'm asking is, we did the sidewalk on this a long while ago. And I just a determination on whether we agree with what's shown on this plan. Oh, sorry about that. I gotta do this, and I gotta do this.
Can we just take a second to read this
Thank you.
project description thingy?
What's that?
I didn't get a chance to read this. The supplemental information you sent?
Yep. Well, it didn't go through electronically the first time. I was just telling Clea that. I like the old fashioned way better, bringing it, handed it to you,
yes,
and you look at it.
agree wholeheartedly. I'm
It's
too
electronically, I
old-fashioned.
don't know how many things well, we didn't get this part. Well, it went with this part, I don't know why that part didn't follow it. It was in the same, but that's the world we're in.
So right now, you're just looking for
Just
a
that-
determination
yes.
on the
So we're gonna do
delineation.
something,
That's the one we walked.
Yeah,
the one we walked.
Yeah, this is the one, he said he had Bruce
Bruce Bulk
Boak out there.
classified the zone A, and that's in there. That's part of the ruling where he said that 200-foot zone A starts, because on the maps, on the GIS maps, it shows it going right across the street up to here, and there's nothing there. So
I would
this
wish
summertime, we went out there and he walked it, and him and his whole group of, there was like 5 of us out there.
Did they ever send anything
Yep,
confirming
there's
that? That's in
I sent it in the email to
You sure?
positive. Positive. Absolutely. There was an email from Bruce Folk. Let's see. Better be in here. Oh, this is different. This is a different project.
A&R plan that you brought before the planning board, because I know Glenda had some questions about what the plan was for up there, so they have that as
Eventually-
well.
Well, just because there was an abutter at our last meeting, she
Yep.
had a bunch of questions.
Yeah,
What was her address?
14.
She was at
14
14
Irish Lane.
Irish Lane. I don't know what that was on here, but.
do you by any chance have the zone, the letter from Bruce, the email?
No, that doesn't sound
Why
familiar
didn't
to
that come
me.
through? I get an email that they're gonna change, what they do is they'll change the map, but that takes, how long does it take for them to change the map? We did that on. But I have a Bruce Boak, Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
They should just, you know what, they'd be better off updating their maps like DCR did, instead of doing
Well, they will.
revision after
Jared,
revision.
is it part of the RDA
It's
submission?
ridiculous.
The
Zone A
file
is a
that
new
says
way for the
RDA,
DCR to
I'm
get you.
wondering if it was attached to that. But I didn't get anything separate.
I found this and this was new. I already had the application.
Yep, the
But
two A
these
and
two were
two B
new.
were new, and the A&R plan was new.
That's in, that's not recorded yet. That's gone through the planning board, but it's not officially recorded because there's some other things that are going on that.
I see the project description, we've got that. I don't see anything else with the RDA. What was it we were looking for? Was it an email?
Zone A determination from Bruce
Oh,
Boak,
okay.
from the Commonwealth.
I didn't see that.
It was
definitely
just,
didn't get
all it
that,
was
because
is an
that's-
email, just
The
a,
first time I've ever heard that name before. That doesn't sound familiar at all, so I don't think I.
you never heard Bruce Boak?
No.
He's the top
He's the-
dog.
he's the
He is-
man.
He is the top.
Kahuna.
He's the
Zone
top
A.
dog on Zone A.
Shut some stuff down,
You've been
boy.
on my sites forever.
Yeah, but I will get that email for you
Please,
to
sure, yeah.
have, cause that was like a 2-month ordeal to get that site walk.
So I just told you, Bobby.
Let's just have it for the files then.
Yes, absolutely.
Last name?
Bulk,
BOLK?
BOUCK.
You're saying that this is not,
that's isolated, that's not connected to anything,
so
and it
that's.
doesn't, it's flat, doesn't hold the water, so it doesn't have
You
any,
said you weren't gonna do anything.
we're not touching it, it's not gonna be touched. When we do any,
Is that a preliminary A&R?
any designs, no, that's an A&R, but it's not been recorded yet, just
So-
because if I gotta move things around to match this. But we're planning on not touching anything in here, so if we're doing any work,
It's gonna be in a.
we'll have to file,
It's
but,
gonna be in the middle lot here.
yep, it's actually the, yep, it's like right in here. That's, kinda goes on a.
The house is going up.
So I did all the soil testing way up
that'll
near the
be about-
street, so I'm outside the 100 foot.
That'll be in behind the house.
That'd be behind houses, yep.
Julian, is that an isolated wetland or is it an isolated land subject to flooding?
Well, that's, in the definitions, I think it's an isolated, there is no such thing as an isolated wetland in the definitions.
True.
It says isolated wetland, but then it describes what it is, so it's vegetated.
Yep,
When it rains, it definitely gets wet,
yep.
but then it's not, it's not bordering anything, it's not
It's
bordering a
ILS.
brook, it's not bordering,
ILS.
it's not.
Yeah, it's an isolated vegetated wetland at its sort of base condition. Have you determined if it's an isolated land subject to flooding? That's really my question. Because an isolated vegetated wetland, we have no jurisdiction over. Isolated land subject to flooding, we do have jurisdiction over.
But what definition do we, under this, is there such a category as an isolated,
Land subject to flooding?
no, wetland?
But
I thought it's in the same,
jurisdictional under the
it's in the
wetland.
same paragraph, but the heading is isolated land subject to flooding. But then flooding, it's gotta be bordering along a lake or a stream or a brook,
Yeah.
and it's the extended part. This is not bordering anything. So,
It doesn't meet the
It-
state's definition. It's too small.
So, well, that's my question. It has to be calculated.
and
It's
doesn't,
labeled as isolated land subject to flooding. I wanted to confirm if that's correct or not.
well, maybe it's not labeled correctly, because if that means,
Because that wouldn't
it
meet,
can't flood because it's on a hill.
it won't meet the definition.
It can't flood.
so-
It
What is
can't
the-
hold a
let's
quarter-acre
Get
foot.
Melissa's input on that one.
But it doesn't, there's no category in the Wetland Protection Act that says isolated wetland. It's in the same
It's
definition as,
ILSF or nothing.
right.
Correct, yes. I agree with that, yeah.
So that's what I've done in the past over, I don't wanna age myself. Still got black hair somewhere.
It's all right, we know what you're doing.
So I believe this is definitely a protected with a 100-foot buffer, because it connects all the way down to Demon Pond. And we got the Zone A connecting to it, but it's clearly not touched
Yeah.
in between.
We did walk
High and
there.
dry in between, so.
We did look.
But we're not planning to do anything in that. I'm not looking to fill that, to alter that. We don't need to. We just leave it alone, just,
Because if it is just an isolated vegetated wetland, I would suggest relabeling it on the plan, just.
I will do
to
that, just so there's no
clarify.
question.
Yeah.
So I'll do that.
I didn't go to the site walk. Is there actually a low point in that area?
It's very subtle, but Julian said it doesn't meet the volume
Okay.
Right.
requirement under
It
the
can't-
state.
it can't hold a-
6-inch depth and quarter-acre foot.
Right.
It's not like a,
It's not a bowl.
Yeah,
It's just-
yeah, it would
And
have to
it's,
be,
It just
it's too
gradually-
small.
yeah, it would have to be an ILSF
Not a bowl.
anyways. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea though.
ILSF doesn't have buffer zone anyways, so chances are it probably doesn't impact anything, but if it's not
So what would I
ILSF,
call it?
better not to label it that. Better just call it isolated vegetated wetland, which is not jurisdictional for us.
I will do that. I'm gonna use
I'll
exact-
fix that.
Isolated
I'll get a bylog.
vegetated wetland, not subject to jurisdiction. No problem, I can do that.
So,
So we can continue this, or we can go on and I'll just get the plan to Tamika, however you guys wanna do it. You tell me,
let's issue a.
I'm very easy lately.
We need input from Melissa and Brandon.
What's up?
Melissa and Brandon. Have to weigh in.
When's your next meeting, December 6th?
December 3rd.
December 3rd? How about I just revise this and just continues to then and we go from there, or whatever works for you guys. I'll stop.
Brian and Melissa, did you have any questions or comments?
I mean, that was my biggest one because I saw it was labeled isolated land subject to flooding. So if it doesn't hold a quarter-acre foot of water, then it's just an IVW. But yeah, just want to make sure that's clear because isolated land subject to flooding is a jurisdictional area. It just doesn't have a buffer zone, but in and itself is protected.
Okay.
And I know when we visited it, Julian, you mentioned that the vehicles that were in there were being removed?
Yeah, actually, I believe they're all gone.
Okay.
All the ones that were close in there, yeah, he had a lot of stuff removed. So.
Okay.
How do you want me to handle this?
Yeah.
Close it with this, I submit this back and go from there, or
We could do a determination and just put a condition
the plans revised?
that we
I'm
want.
gonna bring a hard copy to you.
I'm gonna
I just don't release it to him until we have the plan and the email from Mr.
Perfect.
Okay. That's a deal. I don't think this needs to go to the next. I don't see why we can't issue a determination tonight, but that's just me. Two minor things that we know have been done already.
I agree, yeah. I'm okay if we want to issue a determination tonight, if others feel the same way. If others want to continue it, that's fine too. What do the other members feel?
Do you have the determination definitions, Tamika? I always forget to
I think it's negative.
print one of those. Cause we're verifying a wetland
Melissa's
delineation.
really good at that.
We're verifying a wetland delineation, right?
Yes, you agree that this is
So what,
accurately,
so we need to say that the delineation's accurate.
Here, it's got it.
So this would be.
We're not improving any work in the buffer zone.
right,
That's what -3 is.
it's a negative determination.
So we need to find which category fits.
It's whether the area depicted on plans referenced above in the area is subject to jurisdiction of the Wetland Protection Act. So there is some that is jurisdictional. So yes, further back. You agree with the boundaries, that's B.
So A and B, you said?
I believe so.
So
And
technically, I think if we're doing a wetland delineation, approving that, oh wait, hold on, I just have it up. So it's negative determination. I thought it was a positive for saying it's accurate, but hold on. Yeah, it's positive number 2A. The boundary delineations of the following resource areas described on the reference plans are confirmed as accurate.
Positive 2A,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, because negative determinations usually relate to the work that's proposed, but there's no work being proposed yet.
Okay. So that's the only one, Melissa?
I like it.
Yeah, because I mean the A&R plan or any of these plans don't have any proposed work on it. So if that's the only thing we're approving, then I would stick with 2A.
So we don't have to do number 1. The area is subject to protection of the act.
Because that would require an NOI.
What do you call it when they approve the wetland line? I forgot.
Okay,
That's
got
the
you.
big- That's the big one. That's what it's-
Just positive 2A.
It takes.
Is everybody comfortable issuing a determination tonight?
I am, but I'm only one member of the board.
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with that.
All in favor?
Melissa, this is technically not a public hearing, right? RDAs?
Yeah, you don't have to.
So we don't
close that.
actually have to close it before we make our decision. Okay. Well, I'll take a motion.
I make a motion to approve the work with plus 2A positive determination for, what is it, 41 Irish Lane.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Are there any conditions we want to add to this?
Oh, just the email and the new plan,
The new plan? That's it.
not to be released until received.
Okay,
Sounds good.
all right. Roll call.
Keen and I.
Clock eye.
Williams and I.
Brian, I'll
And
jump.
I,
Oh, thanks, Melissa.
sorry.
Bjorklund, aye.
Gentilucci abstain. I'm not going to vote since I am a direct abutter.
You don't have to vote anyway.
What's that?
whoever the chair is does not have to vote one way or the other,
That's true.
Really?
really.
Skip, I think you made that up.
No.
I never heard that.
No,
It's true.
Yeah, but if he doesn't vote, we don't have a quorum.
we got a quorum right
No,
there.
we still have
Oh, yeah.
a quorum, yes.
Never mind.
I've heard that before, but I'm okay voting. Or in this case, not voting, because
I've never,
abstaining.
ever heard that.
The chair is only there on a 3-man or a 5-man committee is to break a tie. That's all. Read the selectmen's manual. You're not a selectman, but I got
Really?
that beaten into me many years.
I'd like to have my own selectmen's manual, please. The town provide that.
Go to Holden, they'll get you one.
We have a department reference manual.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, where we
It's a
headed
real
next?
riot.
All right, moving on. We've got reopening the public hearing for notice of intent for Brintnal Drive, lots 102 and 104.
Jared, if I may, I did list them together on the agenda, but I believe you guys held them as separate hearings at the last meeting.
Okay,
So should we
yeah,
start with
you're
102?
I think you're right, we did. So let's start with 102 Brintnal Drive, lot 102 Brintnal Drive.
So I wasn't here for that meeting. I'm just wondering why because it was already approved before and it ran out. And then I came back with it, I refiled it. I think Peter was still the chairman then. He said, just refile it and it should be fine. But I don't, you guys, for some reason, you approved the 9 over on Quail Run, which I received the other day. Thank you. But these 2 you didn't. Like I said, these were previously approved and recorded. So, I don't know why they got denied, or they got
Continued.
I apologize.
Yeah, that's right there, that's the one.
Most of that work, by the way, is done. We did, it's lot 102 and 104. We did
All the fill.
did all the fill in both places already, because we had to move it from across the street. So the work is already done. It's
This
just,
driveway exists pretty much down to here,
yeah,
built to grade. And then all this fill
it's all done.
is all done from when they did this one and those.
So I really
So,
just have to
The only
build
thing
the
left
houses.
is actually putting the house in.
And that's just,
The majority of the fill is in place.
is this the buffer zone? 100-foot buffer?
Yep, that's under the
I
buffer.
mean, we're just barely in it. So I don't know, why did they, each one of them get pushed off? I don't know.
Was stormwater required for the first 4 lots?
No, I got wetland, I got orders and conditions on all of them. I built them, they're all done. Already done.
Okay, and then are you discharging any stormwater to the zone A, which is behind?
No.
We're nothing getting discharged. It's a vegetated wetland at the toe of the slope, but that slope, like we just said, that's already there. That was done under the order while it was still valid. Because he brought all the fill in when he was doing up the hill.
And when I went to build,
We went to pull the building permit, you found out, oh, this is expired.
These expired, so they gave me the kibosh at the building department. But I mean, like I said, I'm not sure why they wouldn't just get, because nothing's changed. In fact, like I said, most of the work's done.
Trying to remember, let me pull up our minutes from our
So,
last meeting.
yeah.
It had something to do with stormwater is what I remember.
Because DEP's comment said the project appears to be in ORW.
But we're not touching no resource has been touched, it's only buffer zone work. So, it's not an R.
What's that?
I think you went too far. They're
Did I?
the last 2 on the public hearing section. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, here's the minutes. So
There was
if
no.
stormwater was never required, then how can we require stormwater now? And he's
If
not
it's part of a common development of 3 or 4 lots or more, then stormwater standards apply.
so why didn't we apply those when he filed for the first lots?
And if I may ask, these are 2 separate lots. I'm not subdividing or I'm not developing 4 lots or 5 lots or 3 lots, I'm just developing 2 and they don't even touch. They're not contiguous. So, because they're new filings, so.
No, it's part of a common development, so even if things were A&R, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a subdivision. So I think that's what DEP's comments were getting to, making sure that we didn't hit that threshold through a common development.
Yeah, it's too late now, it's already done. It's like me,
Well,
what if I sold the lots and
so-
somebody came back?
Hold on, please, hold on.
Okay,
So, right, but if you continue them, even if they were built 5 years ago and you're continuing your development, you're still meeting that threshold.
so if I sold the lots to a private person and they wanted to build a house, would they be subject to stormwater? No, it's too
Yes,
late, it's
If it
too
was part
late,
of the common development.
it's too late though, it's
The grading-
passed, and
The
it
biggest
wasn't
thing I have
required.
on my end is that the grading, the shape's already
But they're saying
there.
there's not an existing stormwater plan, that's what's confusing me.
There's
No,
not,
there wasn't.
there never was.
Never did one. That was.
house-
And the
built.
DEP comments say you should check if stormwater is required, that's their comment.
And it wasn't. Like I said, I had orders of conditions for these already.
It says subdivision which may have been subject
What
to
year
the
was this?
stormwater
It was done a
standards.
while ago.
Yeah.
So,
The commission should verify if the lot may be subject to the stormwater standards.
2016.
Plus, Jim stamped it, he's not even alive anymore. Let me build them, please.
Finished building them.
Finish building.
And
review
get
our-
it stabilized.
Stormwater, commission stormwater paper.
Wow, 16.
When did you say the orders
Wish I
were
brought
originally issued?
2016.
Yeah.
And they're on record. Or not, but like I said, they expired, so I said, oh.
Okay.
Well, just, pretty much all of Rutland is in an ORW. They
I don't
make it
think-
sound like it's something. The only spot that's not is Turkey Hill. That little tiny piece, everything else is.
I wish I brought my paper that talks about commissions and like what triggers commission jurisdiction over stormwater. It's like 3 different items on there, I can't remember what they are.
What would stormwater even entail?
Well, if it's single-family houses are exempt from the stormwater standards, but if a lot is being subdivided and and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, I think if it's between 4 and 9 lots created, then the stormwater standards are applicable to the maximum extent practicable.
Right, and that's, actually, you just rung a bell. I believe that is what we believed was maximum applicable
At the time?
at the time. Because it's.
They probably dealt with it.
We got
Back and
slopes
look.
that are, those are 2-to-1 slopes, which can be very much stabled with loam and seed. And we control the water, there's a swale in between so it just doesn't wash everything away. The driveway is as reasonable of a slope as you can get, so it wouldn't cause, I think that's even less steep than 2-to-1 along that driveway, I think they're 3-to-1.
Yeah.
And I believe that's how that went through, that they're big sites,
So
there isn't much else we can do.
are both lots currently undeveloped?
Well, they're
Yes,
partially developed.
yeah, we did work on them,
There's a ton
but
of fill on them,
I was
and
just,
that driveway is built on this long one, all the way down to the bottom of the hill.
Can you put like rooftop infiltration or anything? Can you put any stormwater?
if that satisfies you and you guys will let me build, I'll put the
The gutters with the
infiltrators.
Cultex.
And cut-
I feel like if we require
The good thing is this is on sewer, so there's no septic, so I don't have to worry about that part.
some stormwater on both lots.
Rooftops are fine, I'll do that. I mean, believe it or not, it costs about $4,000 a house. Those cul-de-sacs aren't cheap, especially since COVID, they went through the roof. But
Yeah, because I don't wanna just not address DEP's comments, cause then they're gonna see it and they're gonna appeal it.
They may, yes.
If we don't give
they
them
seem to like to do
some,
that
a little bit
lately.
of stormwater, we have a better chance of not getting appealed.
I go, why do I go to the local boards at local level if every time I get a call from you, Judy, that you're appealing it? What's that all about?
But I think
their new
if you guys
It's a new
make that,
thing.
if you guys make that a condition, I'll put the rooftop with the Cultex infiltrators and that satisfies you, I'm happy to do that. That's enough. I don't know what else you could do anyway.
Yeah, I'm just thinking you could do, cause to meet the stormwater standards,
Rain garden, I don't know.
Filter strips are on the driveway.
what was that, Melissa?
Filter strips are on the driveway.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing, like a little crushed stone infiltration trench along driveways.
That's easy.
Cause really to meet the standards, the main ones I always focus on is peak rate attenuation, recharge and treatment. And if you're doing some small infiltration trenches, Cultec chambers and crushed stone, that's probably gonna get you 99% of the way there, honestly.
No problem.
That's easy.
That's easy enough.
That's
Yep, we'll do it.
So he has to meet for maximum extent practicable.
I think I just exceeded it.
I don't have mine.
in our opinion, we do.
There's only certain
Oh, but with
standards
the
he has to meet,
Cultex
not
on the
right,
roof,
for maximum
that's
extent.
practical.
Not all of them.
And the
Yeah,
line
trying to remember off the top of my head, I think,
I gotta
which
start,
ones have to be met fully?
I gotta start bringing my stormwater stuff to me.
I know, and I can,
Cause you can't get away from stormwater anymore.
I could probably pull it up,
I
I
don't
just
even
wanna take forever to do
understand
that.
why.
Just wait till the revisions go through,
Oh,
Cleve.
yeah, they're getting
It's
stricter.
made it's made to fail too, like the roof
What's the
tech.
big thing with stormwater, is they
The
just try to
Cultex
recharge the
fill up.
ground?
If it's a big
EPA.
storm,
It's treatment,
Non-point
it's
source.
mitigating rates and volumes so that you're not causing erosion, sending too much runoff into water bodies that will now overflow. And recharge, yeah, recharge is a big one, keeping the groundwater replenished. Luckily, recharge is a good way to provide treatment too, so that hits two standards at once.
So, but here's the other thing, if there were 4 lots, right, and I didn't have to come to Concom, then what? Nothing.
Right, it's when you become jurisdictional to us, when you have 4 lots in front of us.
you are correct.
So I walk in, if there were no wetlands here, if I wasn't in the buffer zone, then
I know,
I
We
would
wouldn't care.
Wetlands protections wouldn't apply to you. Nope.
that's why it's good for towns to have
What is
stormwater reg.
I don't understand what it has to do with wetland protection, but, tying in the roof, but yeah, I guess you got impervious, you can,
Well,
you can
stormwater
blast.
quality has a big impact on wetland resource areas. And actually, poor stormwater quality is really what has a big impact.
Right now, this whole summer's got no stormwater, so.
I know it.
So,
We don't even know what to
The
do.
ponds are getting down
so
there.
now we have.
I know.
I know.
Maybe it'll rain Thursday.
So is that satisfactory, the stone on the side of the driveway and the roof? That should be excessive, exceeded.
What do we want for documentation of that? We want to see an updated plan?
It's put in the conditions. Can't really draw a plan of, I guess you can, but
Yeah, no,
if you put it in the
Yeah,
conditions,
I wanna make sure the Cultex are sized appropriately for the 1-inch storm.
That was gonna be my next question, is like some sizing and design behind them. To at least show what they're designed to hold.
So revised
How about I know exactly what we need to do to this. We can add that as a supplement plan, kinda like what I'm doing with this other one. We're gonna put the stone along the edge of the driveway on the downside, go right out to daylight, and then a Cultec for that size footprint. We know exactly that size house.
yeah, we do them in Bryce Estates, every house, so.
So I know exactly what
We
we need
know
to
what
do.
to do.
And we'll put it on that plan, we'll put a detail of the Cultecs and the section of the driveway.
So the drainage, Julian, tell me where the stormwater drainage is going. Is it going to the street?
No, it's all coming off, the street's lower, higher,
Streets
that's the high point. Everything's draining
Back.
back.
Okay.
So we'll put along this driveway on this side, because we'll tip the driveway like this, we'll have some stone, so when it hits the pavement, it comes into the stone area along the edge of the driveway and slows down the speed, and then it comes across the backyard, same thing over on this. Right down along here, and then when it comes out here, it has all this room to slow it down. But at least off the driveway, it gets slowed down right away, because it's going through stone.
I should go out and
We do that in Shrewsbury, pretty much on all the ones you had.
Yep.
So those are those 1-to-1 slopes, are those riprap or
No, those
grass?
are 2-to-1 slopes or 3-to-1 slopes, no 1-to-1s.
Okay,
It's all loam and seed,
All be vegetated.
seeded.
all vegetated, yeah.
Do you guys have any existing test pit data out there to meet your 4-foot separation?
It's all fill, so we got about a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10-foot fill
There's no
right there.
groundwater. You don't have
So
to worry
no
about
problem putting
groundwater.
a Caltex right in here. And this is 4 feet right here, so we have no issue with 2 feet above groundwater.
Way above groundwater.
No problem with that one. On this one, that's why I was so easily said, yeah, no problem. Because it can be done. It's the ones that can't be done that make it difficult. So that's it.
So I know some of these lots, they're already built houses there, I think lot 100, 101, and 103?
All of them, yeah, except for,
Those houses
my
are all
my
in
niece lives on 103. But all of them, except for these two, are built.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just 102 and 104, those are the remaining ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because one thing I just wanted to clarify, and this is more for your benefit of knowing this, Clea and Julian, is that when the parcel gets subdivided and it falls within that 4 to 9 parcel range, if you will, even if it's not a subdivision, that's where the stormwater standards start to kick in. And technically, what you put in for stormwater BMPs has to address all of the lots that are created. So obviously, no stormwater BMPs were put in for lots 100, 101,
Right.
103. And this is where things get a little tricky, is that when you get to a point where you now trigger stormwater requirements, they technically have to provide for all of the lots that were created from this one larger parcel that was subdivided. Does that make sense?
It does, but
That's what they're asking, but it
It does-
doesn't make
you can't-
sense, because
you
you and I
can't do
both
it.
know it can't be done sometimes, but
at this point, we can't do it because
I think
it
we're-
wasn't even required before.
the worst ones are that long driveway, putting that stone diaphragm along the driveway is gonna help a lot.
Mhm.
So that's good in this case, that we're handling the worst, that would have the most impact, we're taking care of with roof infiltrators and the diaphragm. And the two on the other side, there was almost really no grading done on the furthest one up. So there was really no change other than just impervious.
I understand your comment, but there's nothing I can do about it now.
And I'm making this comment more just to get it out on record and so you're aware of
For
it.
future, yeah.
These order of conditions, if they were originally issued in 2016 and we didn't require it back then, you know, maybe it was shame on us as a commission, no, obviously it wasn't us, but maybe it should have been identified back then, it wasn't, this is just my opinion. Appreciate you being willing to provide some stormwater controls. I can understand it being a little, you know, unfair to say, we already had an order of conditions, yes, it expired, but now we have to reapply and get a new order of conditions, and now we're being asked to do more than we were back in 2016. And technically, the regs haven't changed since then. So that's why I'm bringing it up, just for future knowledge.
Fair
Because
enough.
this may come up again, it probably will at some point in town, so. Again, my opinion, anything you can provide, Caltech chambers, infiltration, stone trenches, things like that. In my opinion, anything you can provide would be good and beneficial. And I think the big question is, do we wanna see a plan before we close and issue an order of conditions? Or are the commission members comfortable closing, issuing an order with that as one of the conditions. That's really my question for the commission members, is how we wanna proceed.
If we're comfortable issuing, we can always issue the condition with a deadline of within X amount of days of the close of the hearing.
Get it done right away.
Wrong with that.
That's,
We'll have it to you next week.
yeah.
You can put that in there.
So we're clear, we're putting Cultex and we're putting a stone diaphragm along the edge of the driveway. So that's,
And that other driveway.
and the other driveway, yeah, both driveways. Yep. We'll have it sized and there'll be a detail
Before
of the
the appeal
Cultex.
period's done.
Yeah. I'll have it before the next meeting anyways. Thanksgiving's coming, so.
Oh, that reminds me. Oh.
Is everybody comfortable with that approach? Skip, yes? You okay with that? Glenda, what do you think? You okay with that?
Yep.
Ryan, Melissa, is that approach okay with you?
Yeah, I think so.
I just wanna ask, are there any, I don't think there are any members of the public, there might be, are there any comments from the public on this application? All right, hearing none,
I got a question.
Yeah,
So
go
what
ahead,
about when the house is transferred to the private owner?
Mhm.
Is there anything stopping them from digging the stone up and putting something else in there? Is that a condition that could be,
yeah, that's a good
they
question.
might not even know why it's there.
Yeah,
Yeah, how are those gonna be maintained?
Perpetuity.
You can make it in perpetuity.
yeah,
The order gets put on record, so.
I'm just thinking.
That I don't think would happen where you're asking with what we're gonna implement. If you put a rain garden in the backyard that's collecting mosquitoes,
That'll get filled.
that would probably get altered. I've seen it, so that's why I'm saying it.
This stuff, they like
Yeah,
the.
those
they like
kind
the
of stuff
stone
that's
next to
right
it.
on the edge of the driveway, even if they loamed over the stone, it's still gonna work. You know, it's gonna seep through and still provide. So it's the
And
miniature.
with the revised, oh, sorry, Joanne. With the revised plans, we could ask for an O&M. And when we do the COC, usually what I do at work is I put the O&M at the end of the COC so it gets recorded too.
let's make a, were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna say similar to Melissa too, with the COC, when the property owner comes to get the COC at some point, if for some reason it wasn't maintained in perpetuity, they have to fix it, obviously, before we could do that and clear it from their title.
Okay, yeah, it's a good question, Tim, thanks for bringing that up. Okay. Well, no comments from the public, not hearing any. Entertain a motion to close the public hearing for lot 102.
So moved.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Keen and I.
Clock eye.
Williams and I.
Stan's eye.
York and I.
Gentilucci, aye. All right, we want to take a vote on the order of conditions for lot 102?
Yeah, so rooftop infiltration to be sized for the 1-inch storm, which I think is normal. Filter strip to be added to the driveway and maintained, and full stormwater BMPs to be maintained in perpetuity. And an operation and maintenance plan submitted within, I don't know, do we want to say 21 days?
For the conditions, what is the closest point to the wetland on this one?
Oh, that's more. I'll tell you right now. On lot 102,
Are you seconding that?
that's what Rose asked for child.
What you just,
Closest point.
Oh,
Well,
stone trenches along driveways.
I would say this is,
O&M plan
This one,
That was a motion.
within 21 days.
no, it's probably 15 feet. 15 feet on lot 102.
So we're only doing one lot, Julian, hey?
Alright, so lot 102, 15 feet.
That's all right. If you have it there, I'll just write it down for myself.
And the other one, lot 104, 50 scale, 723.
We did
25 feet,
it one at a time.
104.
Thank you.
That motion been seconded.
Motion and a second?
I missed it.
Tim, Melissa motion, Tim second.
Skip second, okay.
I'll skip second.
Yeah, good.
Any discussion? All right, roll call.
Keenan, aye.
Clock eye.
Williamson, aye.
Dan's eye.
York and I.
Gentillucci, aye. All right, so we're
Now
all
we go.
set with lot 102.
Yeah.
Let's move over to lot 104. There we go, lot 104. So we will reopen the public hearing for lot 104 Brintnal Drive.
We just talked
And I
about
think,
it.
yeah, we just talked about it,
So I
so.
would recommend that we say, put the same stipulations in as we did the previous. Stormwater drain,
Roof infiltration, stone trenches, long driveways, and O&M plan.
Yep.
Within 21 days.
And in perpetuity.
and in perpetuity. But we can't do that because we gotta close the hearing first.
We do.
First, you gotta
Skip your paying
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's
You're
open.
paying
I
attention.
make a motion, we close the hearing.
Second.
Any discussion?
Third month here.
Roll call. Oh, wait, hold on. I have to ask, are there any comments from members of the public? I don't wanna forget. Hearing none. Okay, now roll call.
Keenan, aye.
Clock eye.
Williamson, aye.
Dan's eye.
York and I.
Gentillucci, aye. Okay. Now
Want
we
to
wanna,
make that motion or you want me to?
I wanna go to sleep.
well, the quicker we get done, the quicker we can go to sleep. Want to make a motion for the order of conditions?
On lot 104.
104, Brintnal Drive.
We just zoom out. I'm
Yeah,
having trouble seeing where the lot lines are.
sure.
It's a big lot. 104 is a big
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
It's
it's
giant.
it's a, what do you call it?
State lot.
State lot.
It's 5 acres, over 5 acres.
Wow, okay.
Looks like this whole section's all wetlands, right?
Is that all wet?
Not all. It's there, but then it's got fingers that go out
Okay.
towards.
Some breaks in the back. Okay.
Giant buck.
Do we have a motion?
Skip made a motion.
Need a
No
motion?
second.
By that house, not the one,
Second?
the
Second.
other one.
A second. Any discussion?
Giant.
Hearing none, roll call.
Going up to
Okay.
Joe Jones's
Williamson, aye.
house. Check it out.
Dan's eye.
York and I.
Gentillucci, aye.
Big one.
All right.
Thank you.
Lot 104,
Very
thank you.
much. You guys, I really appreciate it.
Alright,
Thanks for coming in.
keep it alive. I don't like the Zoom stuff.
All right, next item on our agenda, request to extend order of conditions from ZPT Energy, multiple locations, let me pull these up.
So Jared, if I may, I had hoped that they were gonna be on Zoom tonight. But essentially, these are orders that were issued back in 2022, 2023. These were all for solar projects. Right now, they do still plan to go forward with them, but they're still waiting on National Grid. Essentially, now two of them,
You can kiss that goodbye.
two of them were
270,
recently
okay.
extended
Never mind.
by
That's me.
Mark
They're coming
Novak
in.
Jr. And then the remainder of them, they are looking to extend.
Are those two, I'm trying to remember which ones we
It was
extended, are they on this
270
list?
There, he did the 271 Glenwood Road, Mark did, and then Oh, now I'm drawing a blank on what the other one was.
271 Glenwood.
Yep. Mark did that one.
Wasn't it just the other Glenwood Road one?
I think you're right,
Maybe
Melissa.
these
I
two
wasn't sure if
right
it's
here.
Glenwood Place or Glenwood Road.
Wait, so the what?
That's gotta be Glenwood, it's Glenwood Road, that's across Route 68 up toward Glenwood Place, that what, 271.
Yeah, but he did two of them.
That's
and-
where they're building houses right now. If you take a ride up there and go to end of Glen, cross 68 and hit Ridge Road, you turn left, and they're building houses in there at the moment.
Extension number 1 expiration. So these all are expiring December 6th, the extensions?
Correct, but yes, with the exception of the two that were just recently,
With the, okay, and so
Extended.
what are they asking for?
to extend them for 3 years.
Two more 3 years?
Yep.
On both, okay. So nothing's changed, the scope of the work's the same?
Correct, that's what they indicate in their explanation here. And they hope that to have the plan approved by National Grid in January of 2025.
Okay.
We don't
And I
know,
did
we have a slope.
Sorry, I just checked, it is 525 and 526 that Mark
Awesome, thank you.
extended already.
Thanks, Melissa. Sorry I didn't have that handy.
We don't have a site plan for this?
Well, I did it, I included the original orders on the SharePoint.
Yep.
It's a really long document because I
Yeah.
did them all together.
So they're all in here. I think it's just the order of condition forms. I don't think there are any plans in here,
There's no plan, because
not in here, no.
No,
the way I understood it years ago was it was coming right out to the edge of Glenwood, and if that's the case, they're building houses there now.
Why did it say Skip Leroy?
because Skip's name is Leroy.
That's me.
That's your
Leroy Skip Clark is how
Yep.
we sign it.
Leroy Skip Clark. I never knew that.
Yep.
But you want to be called Skip, not Leroy.
I don't care, just don't come in late for lunch.
Or dinner.
When he's in trouble, he gets called Leroy.
Yeah,
And his wife comes.
So it looks like they anticipate some work happening next year, starting next year. But then we'll take about 3 years. So yeah, they are asking for a 3-year extension to December 6th, 2027.
What does National Grid have to approve? Just the solar farm herself?
there is no three-phase out there. You cannot use a solar field unless you got three-phase, unless you do a big battery backup. I can tell you this for a fact.
Okay.
$2.5 million to go from my house to the three-phase.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
I have no objection to a 3-year extension on both. But I don't even think I can vote on this. I wasn't even here then.
I think a lot of them.
I'm abstaining.
It's just an extension.
it's an extension of something that's already there, even though you might have bitched about it before.
No, I don't remember bitching about this one.
Yeah, I think that's okay for you to
All
vote,
right.
since it's an
If you
extension
guys think it's
request.
fine, then
They haven't indicated any changes, so as far as we know, what was approved before is what they're planning to do. If they wanna do something different, they'll have to let us know.
This actually is, if you remember a few meetings back, somebody complaining about clearing the woods out and, yeah, well, this is right on the same area, same lot. And it's marked for a driveway and whatever. But anyway, I'll make the motion to extend for 3 years.
Do we need to do these individually, Or can we do them all at
We
once?
can do one motion and perhaps if we can just reference the DEP number
Okay,
that we're extending. Melissa, would that be fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
okay.
Okay, what's,
Who'd like to take a crack at the motion? Remembering that these two here, if I can get this to point or the right one, 0526, 0525 and 0526 had already recently been extended, so we don't need to include those in this motion.
Alright, I have them in front of me, so I move we issue a 3-year extension for DEP numbers 277-522, 521, 527, 529, 530, and 528.
Second.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Keenan, I.
Clock eye.
Williams and I?
Dan's aye.
York and I.
Gentilucci, aye. All right, they get 3 more years. We'll see if they ask for another extension in 3
Right.
years. All right,
Possible with National Grid.
I know, that's what takes the longest. We have a request for a certificate of compliance from Mike Johnson, 18 Walnut Street. I think, is this the BMX bike trail?
Yes, the
Yes,
one that
okay.
Tim went to the
Okay.
site visit for with that DCR.
And, let me see.
I'm sorry, who met with the Brian?
Street.
Tim did.
Tim?
I went,
Yep.
Okay.
yeah.
And how's it look? Better?
He did, yeah, he did everything.
Did they like
Awesome.
restore the stone
He
wall?
went into the, beyond the stone walls, he put that all back, removed the material, seeded it,
Wow,
built the stone wall back.
geez, you sent photos, I think. Do we have the photos?
There were
of it?
some photos, I do remember seeing those.
Yep, I would have uploaded them to the SharePoint.
I don't know if I did maybe,
I remember seeing.
I'm usually not that technologically advanced that I
Somebody
can
sent
send
photos for
photos.
something.
No.
Maybe they came from,
Somebody sent photos.
Did
Maybe I
Alan
did.
send?
Are you sure those come from the original?
I think it was Tim.
That was from before though, the
Yeah, I
photo.
think that was from before.
I thought they were, someone sent of them the restored area.
I thought so too. No?
Okay, I must have it mixed up with someone else, I'm sorry. Something.
Yeah.
If it is Jared, on the SharePoint, under the by address, where it says property records by address, it would be under the Walnut Street address. I would have uploaded it there if we had something.
This thing's freaking out on me now.
Whoa.
Oh, that banging makes me think I'm at home. I can hear the kids upstairs like fighting or something.
Sorry, Tamika, where would it be?
So if you scroll down, it's a green folder and it says property records by address. And then if you scroll all the way down to Walnut, it should be there under Walnut Street, the individual folder inside there. So nope, then I didn't get any pictures for
Okay.
this one.
My bad.
Tim, had it grown in?
sorry?
Had everything grown in?
No. I had not gone in yet. You could see the seed was down. It was he was actually watering, but it wasn't fully established at that point.
I guess that would be my only
Yeah.
comment then. So you usually wait for at least 80%.
Yeah, we normally wouldn't wanna
It was
close,
Halloween candy.
issue a COC until it's mostly restabilized.
As long as he keeps on it, I wouldn't assume he'd be fine in the spring once things start growing again.
Tim, when did you go out there? How long ago was that?
I think that was October 22nd-ish.
Okay.
It was during the week, I remember.
It wasn't
weeks
too
ago.
long ago.
I mean, I can swing by there again.
I was gonna say, did we wanna maybe, if we're gonna be doing a site walk Saturday morning, do we wanna swing by and just take a look? I mean, the weather's been pretty good lately, I'm just wondering, maybe it's mostly stabilized at this point? We could swing by and take a look and,
Doesn't hurt.
yeah, and if it looks good, we could issue the COC at our next meeting, if we're all
Yeah.
satisfied with it. I do agree with Melissa, we don't wanna
Yeah.
issue the COC until it is mostly stabilized, yeah, 75-80%, I think that's what we typically look for, right, Melissa?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if everybody's okay with it, I would suggest we
I'm sorry, was this the NOI? Did we require a NOI on this?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys did the whole NOI.
And that's,
Yep,
I
and
don't
that's-
remember that.
Oh, yeah, yep.
That's
You did, yeah.
not surprising.
Yeah.
Guess that's why we need a COC.
And then, in place of an as-built, since he didn't have engineered plans, I had just asked him to provide that narrative to explain, you know, the work that he had done to meet the requirements.
Okay.
Okay. Why don't we plan to swing by Saturday morning? And then Tamika, can we put this on the agenda?
Yeah.
For our next meeting and?
Sure. Are you gonna do, like a drive-by, or do you want me to let him know you're gonna be there?
Why don't you let him know,
Okay.
because I think it's
wondering
pretty
if it's gonna
far
be
off the road, so I feel like a drive-by probably won't be sufficient. We wanna
Yeah,
get out
we're
at
gonna have to
least.
walk.
Just wonder if it's gonna, do you think it's gonna be super muddy because of all the rain coming? If it might damage what's trying to be grown? I'm almost
I
worried.
think that's perfect time to see it then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe we can just avoid the area that he's reseeded, if we can walk around the edges,
Wear our muck boots.
yeah.
Yeah, just walk the side of the track. I mean, I think it'll be pretty obvious.
So Saturday should we do the
Should we say like, do you wanna do it before or do you wanna do it after?
after?
After.
I don't know, it's up to you guys, I don't
Well,
care.
he's already the engineer was already meeting us at 10
Yeah,
at the other place, so.
Yeah, so we
wouldn't
should
wanna
plan-
Hold him up.
I don't care if we do it before or after, honestly. I'll be up at 5 AM anyway.
Lucy's job site is gonna be,
that should be quick.
yeah,
I was
really.
gonna suggest, why don't we just do it after?
Okay, I'll tell him
After.
like between 10:15, 10:30.
Yeah,
Is that okay?
That sounds good.
Yeah, tell them like 10:30, 10:45.
Because George won't be there and you won't be there for an hour talking, because he'd have headed for Florida.
No, that one should be fairly quick.
But we'll have to talk to Chuck Karen, whatever his name is, Mr. Karen.
Okay, I will let him know and I'll put it on the next agenda.
Okay. Thank you, Tamika. All right. Okay, what else is on our list here? Old and new business, tree clearing, 76 Woodside Ave. So this was the site walk that Brian and I did. They had some hazardous trees. They did provide us the quote from the tree company, just noting some of the trees being dead and safety concern. Brian and I walked it, trying to remember, that was, when was that?
A few
Brian?
weeks ago.
I was gonna say, yeah, that was at least a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. Do you wanna just give a quick summary of our meeting with the property owner and the site walk?
Yeah, so it was, pretty it was easy to understand what trees needed to come down. There was one dead one to the left of the house, in between the two houses, that was obviously a hazard. The one behind the house, he said was dead. It's not. It's very much alive, but it does pose a danger to the house. And that's pretty much it, I believe. It was just the 2 trees, from what I recall. And yeah.
Yeah, so I think we didn't see an issue with the trees that they want to take down.
Yeah, and they weren't gonna disturb the wetland. They were doing everything from a bucket truck.
Yep. Yeah, and I think the tree in the backyard that's not dead, but close to the house, I think that one actually is a little further from the wetland, so.
Right.
So that one's not really an issue. I think our plan on this, they are not planning to take them down until the spring. We did ask about schedule for the work and they're not gonna do it. They said not this fall or winter, so they'll wait until the spring, probably, March or April, once the weather warms up. I think we were planning to just issue just a letter to Mika.
Yeah, so the last time we did it as an administrative approval and then I issued them a letter. So my thought was, since you had said they weren't gonna do it till the spring, we might as well just bring it back to the meeting instead of having you and Melissa do it off.
Yeah.
off the books.
Okay. I'm trying to remember when we've done this in the past, do we typically vote on it to issue the
Yeah.
letter? We do, okay.
Yeah, so usually you make a motion to issue an administrative approval.
I'll entertain that motion if everybody is in agreement with that plan.
So moved.
Are they just cutting, sorry, are they cutting flush with the ground? No stump removal or anything, right?
Yes, glad you brought that up, Melissa,
Correct.
correct, no stump removal. We did ask and the owner did confirm, no stump removal.
Okay.
Good question. I heard
Yeah,
a
he
motion.
showed us the stumps from the last operations, and they were still there rotten.
Yes,
Beautiful.
so I heard a motion from Skip, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Brian. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Clock eye.
Williamson, I.
James, I.
Bjorklund, aye.
Gentilucci, aye. All right, moving on to 69 Pommogussett Road, dam and pond. We had a site walk. Boy, my sense of time lately is all out of whack.
know.
When was that?
Last week, I think.
It's
right?
all-
Last week?
It's all a
There
blur,
was one
Jared.
last week.
Yeah, last week, yeah. Let's see, myself, Tim, Glenda, we met with Mr. Warrington and Mark Elbag, and we ran through the enforcement order, which was related to some of the sediment that got deposited in the stream downhill of the dam. And some of it actually went through the culvert and on the other side of the road. So we talked about that. Mr. Warrington said they will clean up that sediment. So that was good to hear. We also asked if they had done any repairs to the dam at this time. We were told no repairs to the dam have been done. And if they plan to do any repairs, hopefully they will let us know and come back to us. But they said at this time they're not planning to do any. Tim, Glenda, anything else?
It was just
No?
reviewing DEP's Thomas, I don't know how to say his last name,
Rebula.
Rebula, his comments. He wants, yeah, like Jared just said, remove accumulated sediments from the stream. Should be permitted through a local enforcement order, we did that. Work on dam repairs will have to be permitted through the normal NOI process. In this way, there is an obligation to conduct the restoration work as opposed to an open permit, which may be acted on or not. So
Jared,
we
if
just
I
have a
may-
verbal agreement, like,
Yeah, so I was just gonna ask, I can send like a follow-up letter of communication to solidify what was discussed. Was there any sort of deadline set on when he needs to clean the sediment out?
Trying to remember, I don't think we talked about a deadline, did we?
Really?
No.
Okay.
Does an enforcement order, does it have a built-in deadline or no? That's only for emergency certifications, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like 30 days or something.
Okay.
Yeah, not on the enforcement.
Do we
See,
want to give them a deadline at this point? And if we do we think would be reasonable?
A deadline for cleaning up or
For cleaning up?
to fixing the dam?
No, the enforcement order is only for the cleanup work. If they do any repairs on the dam, that would be a separate notice of intent submission they'd have to
Okay.
send to
Yeah,
us, so,
that was
yeah,
it.
this is
That's what I
strictly for the
thought, but
cleanup. Melissa, when you've done enforcement orders in the past, do you typically provide a timeline or some sort of, deadline for them to get the work done?
Yes, and or a deadline for them to submit their restoration plan that further outlines it.
Okay,
I mean, especially if we're keeping this as an enforcement order, which ironically DEP more now recommends because it gives you more authority to enforce those deadlines. So ironically, they're getting away from recommending the issuance of an NOI, but instead keeping it or submittal of an NOI, but keeping it, issuance of a submittal of a restoration plan and then X, Y, and Z deadlines. Also thinking about the reasonability about the timeline. So is there like an official action plan of how they're gonna do the cleanup? I know I've been lagging the last couple times, so I'm trying to catch up in my brain.
Yeah, I don't think they have a plan.
Buckets and shovels, basically,
Yeah,
and
Okay.
young, strong people.
yeah.
I mean, is it still a reasonable effort for, we haven't had necessarily a hard freeze or snow yet, so is it still something that can be done sooner rather than later?
Oh, yeah.
I would say.
He said they could.
They were talking about getting it done relatively soon. That was my impression.
Mine too,
I
that
don't-
they could
I
do
don't think
it.
they were gonna wait. And yeah, I mean, weather-wise, it's been pretty nice out
It's
and
been good.
it's not like it's gonna be 4 degrees starting tomorrow, so.
Yeah, and I'd rather them get it done now before we do have the freeze and thaw period.
Right, cause if it doesn't get done before the cold hits, it'll have to wait until the spring.
Do you wanna say
Yeah.
January 1 or like December 15th or?
Well, could we reach out at least and see if he's done it? I mean, it was a
Maybe
week
he's
and a
already
half
done it.
ago.
It's true. Maybe they've already started?
To see if they've
Yeah,
had,
because we could keep this, on the friendlier side, for now and issuing just kind of a formal
if they've done anything
declaration
and
versus enforcement order.
Yeah.
if they had, I mean, ask if they've started that work yet, and if not, when, because we would like to see it done by,
By the end of the year?
something like that.
End of December.
Yeah.
I like that approach, yeah.
And can we also ask them to send photos of the material?
What they pull out or?
Where can they make a pile and like, we don't want them like chucking it further down the wetlands, you know what I mean? Needs to go into upland area somewhere.
Oh, so are you asking for a photo of where they put it?
Just a photos of the materials they removed.
I'm still unclear.
Yeah.
When they, after they remove it and they put it somewhere else?
In a pile, yeah.
You want pictures of where they actually place it? Got it, okay. Yep,
I'm just curious to see how much they get out of there.
They just throw it
And
in
how
the
far
trash.
downstream can we make them go? Because remember, Tim, I walked down through those briars, it sucked like 30 feet. And I
Yeah.
still could see sediment.
I know, but he was.
But I don't think we
make
can make him
an
clean up
honest-
that far down on someone else's property. I don't even think that's his
He's
property.
gonna make an honest effort.
yeah,
That's what we
that's,
agreed to.
he said he was gonna reach out to the property owner and Tamika, maybe in your communication with Mr. Warrington, you can just ask him to confirm if he's reached out to the property owner, cause I believe he said he was gonna reach out
That's right.
and would try to clean that up as well. Cause it's all from when he opened up the lower pipe in the dam and everything came through.
Jared, is it the property owner right next door?
On the other side of the private
It's on the other
road.
side of, what's the name of the street? I'm blanking on
Molten
it.
Mill?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, on the opposite side of Molten Mill.
We have a USGS map.
That's your buddy. He was on the board.
That's Joe's house?
Huh?
It's not Joe's property.
No, it's
Is it
the oil
Scott?
man's property.
That's Landgren's?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Okay, I don't know what I'm
Not
talking
Not where it crosses over Moulton.
See if I
Not
can
where.
find
It goes all the way around, all the way
I
down,
don't believe you. You shush.
all the way down
I
by
trust him.
Joe
His name
Delaquilla's
is
house.
Leroy.
Yes, there.
Delaquilla.
Let's see, this is Mr.
I don't know. I'm so
Warrington's
confused
house.
now, Skip.
I think we're-
Either Woolhanders or Scott's.
Yeah, well, that's right, Rolander bought it from Scott, that's right, he did that piece, but,
Oh, that's where Eric's building a house.
That
Yeah.
looks like that's Eric's.
yeah, I forgot Rolander bought that chunk.
All right, can we see where that the culvert is, where it crosses on there?
I think it's Eric's.
I believe the culvert, if I remember correctly, is like,
Right in
oh, right there it is, you can see the stream. So the culvert's right here.
Okay, so he has to get permission for 5 Molten Mill Road.
Yes. Actually, the front part, well, based on the GIS, the front part is still within the roadway, right where the culvert discharges, but then it eventually gets into private property.
So Jared, just so I'm clear, he is supposed to be reaching out to Eric to ask for permission to access his property to continue the cleanup of that stream.
Correct,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
And are they gonna make a bigger mess than what it is now, but just doing the cleanup?
I mean, if they're going in, like you said, with shovels and buckets, it's fairly
Minimal.
should be minimally invasive. I mean, that, in my experience, if you're trying to just pull sediment out of resource areas, that's usually the least invasive way to do it.
Okay.
It's not easy, but it causes the least amount of disturbance, you know?
I don't think they say where the sediment's less than an inch thick, just leave it alone. Or is it half an inch?
I think I wanna say maybe a half inch,
Maybe it is
Yeah,
half an
maybe
inch.
half inch, an inch.
We don't want them scraping native material.
No, agreed, yeah. I wanna say it's a half inch, cause usually around a half inch, the vegetation can still grow through. So it's usually
So okay.
recommended to not, if it's half inch or less, just leave it. Cause eventually vegetation will take over again.
Shall I add that to my letter?
See, anything, sediments half inch depth or greater have to be removed.
Okay.
If it's half inch or less, leave it alone. Does that sound good, Melissa, or?
Yeah, you can always add in, at the lovely sediment at the, oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? At the something of the commission, at the,
Discretion.
oh my God.
Our discretion?
Or like satisfactory, to the satisfaction of the commission.
Can we come up with a rhyme, like, if it's, like, if it's, I don't know, something that rhymes with love.
Must be getting late. We've all been awake for way too long.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
I will keep that and add it to the file, and I'll send a copy to DEP as well.
Thank you, Tamika.
Thank you, Tamika, awesome.
Welcome.
Whoa,
Somebody was asking me about you. Colleen Abrams.
Oh yeah, she's my buddy. She's a Green Bay.
She's my friend too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What does she want?
rail trail.
Yeah.
She was asking about the butter notification or the culvert replacement. They haven't permitted that yet, apparently. She was asking about the butter notification, if copies could be viewed. Should she reference the Rutland Conservation Commission if people want to view the NOI? That was her question.
No.
Yes, so the DEP letters are actually, the abutter letters are on the DEP's website. They're like a blank standard format, and that's what she would use, and then it would reference the town of Rutland's website so they can view the NOI online when they submit it. And then I get it posted. Tell her to email me, I'll help her.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But do that one, do option 2, I'll help her.
I'm too tired to remember what you just said.
That's okay.
Okay.
Are they, I forgot about that, are they planning to submit their NOI?
I guess so.
They haven't yet, right?
She said Quinn was working with Scott and then,
Wait, I thought we already approved the Miles Road one.
We did an emergency certification.
I remember that.
And then I thought they said eventually they
Ecotech
had
came
to file.
back.
we want it after the fact NOI, I think.
I thought that's what we said. I'd have to check the
I thought
minutes.
we did that, honestly, because Ecotech came back. We talked about the stream crossing standards.
Did we? I
Yeah,
don't remember.
We did.
I don't
talk
know why
about
she was asking me about the butter notification then.
Yeah.
Oh, then I don't know.
Was it for that
I have
project?
to double check.
I don't know, she talks so much I can't listen to her, everything she says.
I could be thinking, maybe it was just the enforcement order, but I swear they submitted the NOI.
Maybe they did, I don't remember.
I remember seeing Quinn's plan.
He did come in to speak with us,
Remember?
didn't
Yeah,
he?
they did, but I think that was part of the emergency
was the
certification. That was
emergency
the
cert.
restoration plan, I thought.
Okay.
I could be
Colleen,
wrong.
That's the project she said,
I mean, the
as
work's
far as I
done.
remember.
Does the trail open up again? Can you walk?
Oh, yeah, It's
Yeah,
been
that I don't
open.
know.
Yeah.
it's lovely, it's
Yeah,
all
okay.
stabilized too.
Okay, So we've got last two items on our agenda, we've got a couple forest cutting plans. I always butcher this, Muschopauge Road, did I say that right?
They're good.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, that's good.
Let's see where this is. Is it just me or do they never have an address for where they're doing the forest cutting?
Never. You have to look at the stand
Let's find the plan.
map that they overlay on the aerial
Believe it or not, the
photo.
other one did specifically say 48 Cloverdale.
Yeah, I noticed
So-
that, it's pretty good.
Usually there's not an address.
So this is it, so we got,
Is this, wait, first of all, is this private or DCR?
This is Jordan Dairy Farm.
private, right, did I see?
It's Jordan Dairy.
Yeah, it's Randy Jordan.
Jordan Farms, yep.
Okay, he's using Russ Huback. Thank you.
So it's Muschopauge, East County, okay.
That's Route 68, yeah.
Yep. And then Wachusett's up here, okay. Well, this one's pretty easy to understand.
So they're just doing those two small sections?
So they're cutting right down to the rail trail? Is that what that's, I see?
No, that's East County Road.
See, the other road that goes,
one
East
right
County's, that's the
road,
rail
and then
trail.
What's that adjacent to it?
That's East County Road adjacent to it. The wider one?
Oh, so that's the
This-
rail trail?
That one's East County Road, and Skip, you're saying this smaller one is the rail trail?
That's rail trail. That's your rail trail.
I don't think they're allowed to cut in that right away. Is there any kind of like,
They own the land all the way down to the Route 68.
okay,
so-
well, is there any kind of narrative or is there a different stand map or is that it?
See if there's anything else. What else we got?
The USGS, which will
Yes, that's it.
tell us basically nothing.
Yeah, not really. So I see harvest area noted here. Here, okay.
One wetland crossing one. Is that an existing crossing?
This one here?
Yeah, if you scroll up, it'll say on the,
That says stone wall, doesn't it?
it says WC-1.
Yeah.
You're talking the round dots on that thing? You look at this corner up there, it says stone wall. Site map, stand map, the boundary, wetlands.
That's, the stone wall is right here. I think that's that same symbol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Back up to, let's see if this is what we got up here.
stand one.
2 feet to 30.
Is on a well-established farm access road, SC2 and W2 were dry at the time the plan was developed. So, Chris Capone will go, is it not Chris Capone in this area?
It's Jacob Seidel.
Jacob Seidel would. He'll go out and check the work, right?
Yep.
I don't have any problems or questions with this.
Yeah, wetland crossing one. 80 feet.
Wow. Mitigation, FRDR.
Frozen, dry. What does that mean?
They'll cross during frozen and or dry
Or
conditions.
dry conditions, okay.
What's the?
Yeah. So looking at the aerials, it does look like it's just like that area along the rail trail, because the rest is maintained field, where it says open. So it's from the dashed line going from, oh my God,
Yeah,
east
it's
to
too,
west, or
okay,
west to east.
yeah.
And then everything where it's actually pointing to with the arrows, that says harvest area. From that to the rail trail is what they're harvesting. So go up, yeah, just that area across west to east, or northwest to southeast.
Okay.
If you remember, he came to us and wants to put a
Yeah,
pump system through.
across the road.
This is preliminary work to be done beforehand.
Really?
He was
Wanna
questioning.
bet?
You got the inside
Do you
scoop?
wanna bet? No.
No, because I know you're probably friends with them and so.
No, I'm not.
I didn't mean that as an offense. Is that a bad thing to be?
Bend over, I've got
Safe is
it,
not
never
friends.
mind. Had to take state and federal
You're not.
at my place for 2.5 years because of him.
Jared, I have a very important question.
Yes.
How do you get the little fall clip art emoji on your search bar down there?
Wait, which one?
See how you have like the little pumpkin and the leaf down in your search bar on the left?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, isn't that cute?
Down here?
Yeah, that changes daily. It's a Google thing.
Oh,
Yeah, if that's what mine's showing right now, so Mika, you
OMG.
just gotta be cool enough.
Oh, I gotta figure that out tomorrow. That is cool. I like that.
Maybe when it starts snowing, it'll change to
Little snowflakes. I'm sorry, that was
a snowman.
So what do we think? Any issues, any questions for the,
No, it's not. You're gonna stop them anyways, probably already done.
And it looks like they're cutting 40%, leaving 60%.
yeah.
So at least it's not clear cut.
Colleen Abrams will be up in arms.
Think so?
She's not gonna like it.
Tell her not to email me on this one though. That's Jacob.
We have to meet on like December 4th. I have no idea why.
So what do you want, a motion to approve this cutting plan? We're just looking at it, there's
I don't
nothing
think
we
we
can
need, I
stop
don't
it
think we need a
anyway.
motion, no.
Not gonna be fun.
Just if we wanted to send any questions or concerns to the, who do we usually send it to?
Sidell.
Yeah, we sent it
Yeah,
to Jacob. I
right.
mean, unfortunately, we're well outside our 10-day
Yeah.
comment period, but it's
Yeah, that is to me. Yeah, actually, one thing that I've noticed with the other one too. I think I wanted to see if you could ask Jacob who exactly is supposed to be sending them to us in the first place. Because I've noticed 99% of them we get after they're approved, which they're supposed to submit to us simultaneously. So I want to make sure that Jacob knows that.
I noticed that too. We get a lot of them after the fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you can't even comment.
Looks like this was sent, or at least they received it over a month ago.
Mhm.
What was this one? I didn't
I
check.
usually get one without all the numbering
Same
and stuff
date?
in the top right.
Oh, no, wait.
Right, exactly. So like we're getting them after they've been processed, which is weird.
Yeah.
And then once it's approved, I get another copy.
Yes.
Yeah, which I think is the copy we're getting, the approved ones.
We're not getting the
We're not getting,
We're not
preliminary.
getting the initial.
Correct.
Okay.
okay.
So if you don't mind reaching out to Jacob and just making that comment and clarifying if it's the submitter supposed to be sending them to us, and if so, we are not getting them.
September 9th is when that one was sent.
Yeah. I'm seeing
Sheesh.
September 30th. Do you see a September 9th date?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Randy signed it on September 9th.
Date
Oh, yeah.
received, yeah.
And then we got
September
it
9th.
October 15th, and then the other one we got last week. I'm not sure what that one was dated, the Cloverdale one. Oh, so they got it on October 15th.
October
We didn't
15th.
get it till, I think, last week I stamped it in.
Wow.
I think mine stamp is at the
Yeah,
bottom.
and there's gonna be a lot more coming, I think, because obviously they do it, most of the cutting in the winter.
Let's see what
Yeah,
this
I got
one
it
is.
November 13th, so a month later.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the Cloverdale one is already approved. Like it's kind of moot for us now, unfortunately.
Yeah, where's that Cloverdale? I never even heard of that.
That's off of Sassawana, if you go down.
Where's this?
Sassawana is.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, you know where Sassawana is? Okay, yeah, so it's a little road off of Sassawana.
Down 56, right?
Yep, off Pommogussett.
Okay. Oh, my goodness.
No.
So this one's private also? Craig Masterman, Yankee Woodlands.
Yes, private.
Something, what's that disputed? No comment.
Up here.
Yeah, so who owns it?
Maybe the neighbors are fighting.
I own it. No, you own it. I own it. You own it.
What does it say right above it? Does it say blazed something?
Blazed red.
Blazed
Oh, is that a
red.
type of tree?
I don't know.
No, it's just, it's a red marker on the, like paint on a tree.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's actually all over the place here. Blazed red, blazed red. Huh. Any questions or concerns on this one?
No.
Are we past
we
the
did, yeah.
date on this one too?
We'd like to see
Yeah,
it.
this one,
It's already been approved.
Yeah, this
so
one-
yeah.
this one's already approved.
Okay.
Worcester Natural History Society. Interesting.
Oh no,
That
Jerry,
might be the land they already sold though.
now that we talked about the little emojis, they're gone.
Oh, down the bottom, I know. I shouldn't have clicked on it.
Oh, click on it again. I wanna see,
What happened?
I wanna see some fall pictures.
Oh no, it's
I
gone.
wonder if there's a setting you can do.
Now it's pulling stuff from my work.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, is that your work logo? Did
Yes, it is,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to sell you out.
That's okay. All right, we good with these forest cutting plans? Besides the fact that we'd love to get them before they're approved.
I will work on that.
Before the work's done.
Right, I know. All right, that's all we have on the agenda. Any other items people wanna talk about? If not, I'll take a motion to close or adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion? No, roll call.
Keenan and I.
Like I.
Williams and I.
Dan's eye.
York and I.
Gentilucci, aye. Thank you, everyone.